Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is me, ZahZah here, and I'm back with a new history, mystery and makeup today. Today we are going to be discussing 5 different abandoned, deserted places across the globe, completely empty of people or only have a few residents, which is insane to me. If this interests you, then please do just get comfortable and carry on watching this video. Set on 16 acres, Hashima Island was established in 1887 for an undersea coal mine during the industrialization of Japan. By 1959, the island was populated with 5,259 people. They had a 7-floor apartment block, a school, a nursery, town hall and a hospital. They also had a community centre. For entertainment purposes, they also had a communal bath, they had a cinema, they had a pachinko parlour and shops. But the island had a dark history. Both Korean civilians and Chinese war prisoners were forced to work the mines on this island. They endured harsh and brutal conditions, not only from the mine but in their treatment as well. I'm there jumping ahead, I haven't even carved my eyebrows, so let's get into this and get back into the story. Over 1,300 people died from not only coal related incidents but also from malnutrition and exhaustion. By 1974 the coal industry was depleting and the need and use of coal was becoming less, so they decided to close the mines on Hashima Island, meaning that all of the people that lived there decided to leave and abandon the island. The island actually went unused and untouched for 30 years. In 2009 they actually opened up the island for tourism, but only 5% of the island could actually be used for this reason, due to the instability of the buildings there and obviously health and safety issues, because obviously the island had been left for so long that the buildings had dilapidated and everything was just crumbling and falling apart. To this day they continue to have tours there, but it's such a small part of the island that they use. In 2003, construction began on a 30-kilometer wasteland in Ordos, China, to create a city metropolis. They planned for the city to house over 1 million people. They planned to create an urban district to house a civic mall, cultural institutions and architectural and beautiful architecture. In 2004 they discovered that Ordos actually had resources of both energy and minerals that heightened their wealth, the city's wealth. Once construction had completed on Kangbashi, Ordos, the Ordos government actually moved over all their agencies, schools, hospitals to Kangbashi, expecting that everyone would flock to the city as well. But the local residents decided to stay where they were and actually commute into the city instead, because there wasn't enough shops and amenities there. There was no supermarkets, shops, clothing stores. There was just not enough there for people to want to live. As I said before, they expected 1 million people to move into the city, but less than 30,000 actually did. And this was a blow, because it meant that there was just empty streets and buildings all over the city, giving Kangbashi the ghost town title and reputation. And as I said with the last place, because of the lack of use of coal in 2009 and the move into other types of fuel, this caused many buildings to go incomplete, and the Ordos government was just unable to fund the development, so it just halted construction. By 2016
The government did, however, build 34 schools and a hospital in Kangbashi, increasing the population by 153,000. Because they had made all these schools, obviously it enticed parents to want to move into the city to get their children into these good schools. They also provided the parents with a scheme where they would give them housing vouchers to assist them with purchasing properties in the city. Wittenoom, Australia was once a rural, pastoral area, but once they discovered blue asbestos in the area, in the 1930s, they decided to start mining there for it. They began to build a company town there for the mining of the blue asbestos, and it became the largest town in Pilbara. The town also became the only mining place for blue asbestos. But like with most things, the discovery of the health issues related to the types of things that were mined back in them days, they realized that blue asbestos actually had considerable health issues related to it, and mining for it just wasn't profitable anymore due to these health issues and health concerns, that they actually decided to close the mine in 1966. Once a large busy town, by the time all the mines were closed and there was basically no work in the area, people left. They abandoned it, and to this day there's one resident remaining in Wittenoom. I don't know how he survives there, because there are no services, no government services, no shops, nothing. It's just a empty town, and he remains there. This one resident, a gentleman, he remains living there. Due to the contamination of the area, Regional Development Minister John Ford decided to de-gazette the town and actually take the name down and take it off of maps, road signs, anything that would bring people to the area. They closed roads, anything to just contain the area and reduce the amount of people that travelled there. Asbestos fibres can still be found in the air in the area, making it too dangerous for anyone to travel there. Verosha, Famagusta, located in Cyprus, was actually one of the #1 tourist destination in Cyprus, and also became the #1 tourist destination in the world. Celebrities like Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton actually dubbed it their favourite place, their favourite destination. However, in August 1974, this all changed. The local residents actually decided to flee the area with the assistance of the British military base that was local, due to the impending massacre that they believed was about to go down. The Turkish army had actually advanced on the border between Turkey and the Greek territories. The Turkish army was actually able to seize control of Verosha and fenced off the entire town. To this day, only military and UN officials are actually able to gain access to the town. Multiple attempts have been made to have some kind of deal in place to reopen or re-establish entry into the town, but no deal has been able to come to fruition. This means that to this day, the once beautiful #1 tourist destination in the world is unable to be travelled to by civilians. The last town or area that we're actually going to be discussing is one of the most craziest to me, and that's Centralia, Pennsylvania in the United States. The population went from 1,000 residents to just 63 between the years of 1980 and 1990, and then by 2017 just 5 residents. In 1954, the Mile Run Railroad was built to transport coal out of the valley, with 5 mines actually opening between 1856 and 1859. At the same time, an activist group called the Molly Maguires were actually set up in Ireland, Liverpool and the eastern parts of the United States. The activists were among the Irish and Irish American communities of coal miners in Pennsylvania. In the 1860s, the Molly Maguires were actually very prevalent and active in Centralia and were actually trying to form a union for both better wages and conditions for the miners. Several murders and arsons were actually occurring at the same time, and the Molly Maguires was actually held responsible for these incidents, with many of their leaders being hung in 1877, bringing an end to their crimes. Unfortunately, this wasn't the end to the issues and incidents occurring in Centralia. Following the Wall Street crash in 1929, many of the mines had to close. Bootleg miners were actually drafted in, and they had really different unorthodox techniques in terms of mining. One of those unorthodox techniques was actually pillar robbing. Now that was when they would take coal from a coal pillar that was actually supporting the roof of the mine. And when they did that, they caused many mines to actually collapse. On the 27th of May 1969, like they always did, firefighters actually set the local landfill on fire, but unfortunately this landfill wasn't extinguished fully. Due to this, the fire actually made its way through an unsealed opening within the pit, causing it to lead straight into the labyrinth of coal mines underneath Centralia. Although there are many explanations as to why people believe this fire led to the mines, this is a dominant theory. The underground fire continued to blaze, and it wasn't until incidents started occurring that they actually noticed that there was a fire under the ground. There was one occurrence where a 12-year-old boy had actually fallen into a sinkhole that just collapsed under his feet. He was luckily saved by his 14-year-old cousin, but that alerted the officials to this fire that was just bellowing under the ground in Centralia. A plume of steam and smoke was billowing out of the hole, this sinkhole, causing the officials to be alarmed. They tested the steam and the smoke, and it actually showed high toxic levels of carbon monoxide. Many of the residents decided to leave the area, which, you know, I would also, carbon monoxide poisoning ain't no joke. But like I was saying, many of the residents chose to leave the area, and was actually given funding by Congress to do so, resulting in only 63 residents remaining. And by 1990, 500 buildings were demolished. To this day, the coal fire continues to burn under Centralia, Pennsylvania, and they do not expect it to extinguish for at least another 250 years. Okay guys, so that was 5 of the abandoned towns and cities across the globe. There are so many more that you'd be so shocked to find out, and all for different reasons. A lot of the cases today was around coal or war, but there's all different reasons for why some of these cities are abandoned. It's actually insane. But if you did enjoy, please do go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. If you want to know more, or if you have any stories or any towns or cities that you've heard of that you'd like to let me know about that are abandoned, because I find them really interesting to find a whole town or city completely abandoned, like no one there. It's insane to me. But if you do know any, then please do let me know down below in the comments. Please do go ahead and subscribe down below and become a part of the family if you are new to this channel. And yeah, and I shall see you in the next one, guys. Alright, bye. This is very annoying. Can you not shut up? Someone answer the door or something.
And it's still going. Like, no one has anything to do. Okay. Oh, is it stopped?